43 Republican senators signed onto a letter opposing raising the debt ceiling without budget reforms, and 217 members in the House voted for that bill to raise the debt limit with cuts to spending. Does the White House consider all of those members to be dangerous MAGA Republican extremists?
Do they understand what the cuts that they're voting for is going to do? That's the question. I mean, Republicans in Congress, in the House specifically, voted for cuts that's going to hurt American families. I mean, we can't say this enough. 22% cuts to veterans, healthcare, schools. That's what they voted for. That's what, and this is not, okay, but this is not just, this is their constituents. This is what they voted for.
And those constituents that they're voting on behalf of have said that they're concerned about their retirements, about the effects of inflation, and those members represent more than half of the country in the House. I mean, that's the majority of districts in the country, that they're voting on behalf of those constituents who are expressing concern about where the economy is. So I guess, how can the White House continue to use messaging calling this the Default on America Act and paint this legislation in such a way without having a conversation about the budget when you've got half the country saying that they want that conversation?
So House Republicans are threatening a first ever default. They want the president to agree on a plan in its entirety that includes cuts to programs that are incredibly important for the American family, because they want to hold the American economy hostage, because that's what they're saying that they want to do by threatening a default.
Their bill would raise the debt limit. It passed a bill to raise the debt limit. So the conversation.
And I hear you, but they are connecting passing whatever this debt limit to cuts, 22% cuts to veterans, to seniors. That's what they are threatening. Cuts to our schools. That's what is connecting. That's what their budget plan is.
The bill doesn't have any appropriations in it, actually, and the speaker has, ruled out a number of those things, including defense, veterans benefits, senior entitlement programs. I mean, you have Mitt Romney saying that there has to be a conversation here. Is he a MAGA Republican extremist?
What I'm saying is House Republicans have been very clear. They voted on a bill that's going to cut programs that are very important to American families. Law enforcement, cutting programs to law enforcement, cutting program to veterans, veteran care, cutting program to our school system. That's what Republicans have voted on. So those are extreme. Those are very extreme. These are things that the American people don't want. Just look at 2022, what they voted for. They voted for to protect their retirement accounts. That's what the American people want to see. And so they're connecting those two. They want the president to agree on its entire agenda of an extreme budget. It is an extreme budget, something that Americans do not want. And that's something for them to answer to. This is also speaking to their constituents when they're voting for something like that. And so look, the president put forth a budget where it also cuts spending, but not hurting American families. We're trying to make sure that we lower the deficit by saying that we're going to cut the deficit by $3 trillion over 10 years. But he put forth something that is actually responsible. Remember, show me your value. Show me your budget, and I'll tell you what you value. That's what the president said. They showed their value by showing cutting veterans program, cutting school programs, cutting health care, 22%. That's what they value. That's something that they have to answer to the American people about. Go ahead, Ed.